Chapter 11 Pay Back the Money. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Xue got up and sat on the edge of the bed, looking at the sunset shining through the window. The red and warm sun was so beautiful. My uneasy heart instantly calmed down. If it were a balanced space, maybe I could go back to my grandparents and mother when I was young. Qin Xue touched her belly, which was still flat before showing her pregnancy, with her hand, and felt so soft that she felt confused. Baby, we, mother and son, survived such a great ordeal, which means that our fate is very deep, right? You have to grow up obediently. After all, Mom came back from decades later and knows the future social development, so Mom will definitely work hard to give you a good growing environment. I don't know how long I sat there before I went to wash up. It was not good to brush my teeth without a toothbrush, which made Qin Xue, who has mysophobia, almost go crazy. After washing up, I returned the money to Fang Hong and went to the canteen to buy food. Let's go to the street to buy food tomorrow. His heart was not as good as his actions. Gogo went to the kitchen to find some salt, took the money and went to Fang Hong's house. After eating, he had to boil water to take a shower. Qin Xue had not taken a shower for more than 10 days after being hospitalized. She just wiped her body with a towel every time. She was too weak when she came back today. She even smelled of sweat after cleaning the house in the afternoon. Fortunately, I didn't burn out the stove and briquettes while I was working, otherwise I wouldn't be able to wash in cold water in the still cold weather. Knocking on the door of Fang Hong's house, she waited quietly for the door to open. During this period, 3 or 2 women came from the other side of the stairs and entered one after another. One thing they all had in common before entering was that they glanced at Qin Xue several times. Qin Xue didn't know them anyway, so she smiled and nodded and ignored them. Fang Hong was lighting up the stove in the kitchen and preparing to cook. She heard a knock on the door and opened the door to see Qin Xue greeting. Qin Xue, please sit down first. I'm starting the stove and preparing to cook. We'll have dinner at my house later. You sit down while I wash the rice and put it on the fire. Sister-in-law, wait a minute. I'll talk to you and leave. I won't eat at your house. I'll just go to the cafeteria to get food. Qin Xue quickly refused. Qin Xue still didn't want to trouble Fang Hong too much. No one was well off in this era. Especially food was in short supply. If you come to her house for dinner, you will probably have to prepare extra food like you did at noon. At this time, there are some good things that you are reluctant to eat, so there is no need to increase the burden on others. Qin Xue, don't be polite to your sister-in-law. Why don't you go to the canteen to get food? Isn't it just a meal? You can just eat at my house, do you hear me? What do you want to say to me? You tell me, I'm listening. Fang Hong thought of Xie Jun's advice to take more care of Qin Xue, so she invited Qin Xue to stay for dinner even though she was not rich. Sister-in-law, this is the money I spent in the hospital. Now that I am back from the hospital, I will pay you back with the money. Thank you for helping me advance the money, otherwise I would not be able to leave the hospital without the money. Also, I want to ask if you have any food stamps, meat stamps or gas stamps. Can I buy some from you, or borrow them? Qin Xue knew that it was not easy to get these tickets. In today's era, if you don't have a ticket, you can't buy anything even if you have money, so it's really hard to ask for it, but Qin Xue didn't have these tickets in his room and didn't want to go to Chu Molin's room to look through his things. Qin Xue only knew Fang Hong and Yu Xiu in this family building, so he had no choice but to ask Fang Hong. Well, there are some, but not many. I'll give them to you first. Don't talk about buying them. Even if your Chu Molin comes back from his mission, you won't be able to get his allowance. You can just pay it back to me when he comes back to pay the allowance. Fang Hong thought for a while and said, tickets are already scarce, but Chu Molin and the others have been gone for more than a month and they haven't come back yet, and they don't know where they are going on a mission. She didn't even know when she would be able to come back. Qin Xue was injured, had amnesia, and was pregnant. If she didn't help, she would be driving her to a dead end. He said that Lao Xie would be able to pay the allowance in a few days, so he could lend some to Qin Xue. Chapter 12 Borrowing Food Stamps. You are listening at novelfull.audio. And sister-in-law, I want to ask how far it is from here to the street. Are you free tomorrow? Can you accompany me to the street? Qin Xue was eager to buy things. Qin Xue doesn't have anything at home, it's very inconvenient, and she has to go and see if there is any way to make money, otherwise she will starve to death when her cheap husband comes back with this little money. I really don't know whether Chu Molin didn't give the money and tickets to the original person or whether he gave them and was cheated by the original person. Why did he accept such a mess? Fang Hong took the ticket and gave it to Qin Xue. You can use the money first, and then you can pay it back to me when Chu Molin comes back. You can go to the street by taking the bus from the institute, so let me go with you tomorrow. I also agreed with Yu Xiu that I will clean up the house for you tomorrow. Since we are going to the street, I will wait and talk to Yu Xiu. He said it would be fine if I went to clean it up for you tomorrow afternoon. Looking at Qin Xue's appearance, Fang Hong couldn't even bring herself to take the money. Although her family was not rich, her child was in junior high school and she didn't have a second child to save money. No, my sister-in-law's house has been tidied up after I returned from dinner at your house at noon. If possible, ask sister-in-law Yu Xiu if she can go to the street together tomorrow. I only know you two now, so I hope you can give me more advice, please sister-in-law. Qin Xue is truly grateful. Qin Xue felt more and more that Fang Hong was a good person. It is said that it is easy to add icing on the cake, but difficult to provide help when the time is right. In this difficult period, the money was advanced and the tickets were borrowed. The person who helped was a person with a very bad reputation like the original owner, and he was not afraid of Qin Xue cheating and not paying back, so this character the problem has been cleared, and if someone suitable can help in the future, please help her. Fortunately, Fang Hong listened to her boss Xie's advice to help Qin Xue. Later, with the help of Qin Xue and his wife, their family achieved such great achievements. Of course, this is all for later. It is said that Chu Molin and the others are in the forest in the far north of the motherland. There is news that there are some unseen things there, which are feared to be dangerous to our country. At this time, Chu Molin and the others are in a forest. They are looking for it. Took more than a month to find what the news said was hidden in the forest. Chu Molin took his 4 colleagues Wei Xiaohui, Ding Shi, and Li Debao to ambush in front, and the others were ambushed behind. His colleague Deng Kai chose the best observation position and hid at the commanding heights. Another colleague was observing the surroundings with a telescope. Deputy Section Chief, do you think they will really show up? Ding Shi asked Chu Molin in a low voice. Whether they come out or not, we have to find an opportunity to destroy what they want, and just leave a few to take back. His grandmother's has been out for more than a month. It took a lot of effort to find what they wanted. I can't extinguish the fire in my heart without extinguishing their hope. Damn, it's so cold. I haven't held my wife in arms for a long time. Wei Xiaohui took over Ding Shi's words. Wei Xiaohui, can you please stop being so petty? We still have singles here. Deputy Section Chief, do you miss your sister-in-law? Li Debao asked Chu Molin. Chu Molin was silent and didn't speak. Did he miss Qin Xue? In fact, he really didn't want to. He had been looking for this goal for more than a month and had no time to think about these things. He said that marrying Qin Xue was not voluntary. On the contrary, he was a little disgusted. But his sense of responsibility made Chu Molin have to be responsible for Qin Xue. The best responsibility was to marry her. Although he married her after he was drugged to sleep with her, she would be his wife once she got married. Thinking of her life after marriage, Chu Molin felt irritable. The cold handsome face was so dark that it dripped with ink, which frightened Li Debao into hastily shutting up. Chapter 13 The House is on Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chu Molin looked at Li Debao's movements and didn't say anything. He just thought that Qin Xue really felt a deep sense of powerlessness. Chu Molin would rather go out to do scientific research than face Qin Xue at home. He is too busy at work and lazy at the same time. He doesn't clean up the mess at home and doesn't cook. Every time he comes back from get off work, there are always quarrels. Later, Chu Molin simply didn't go back and lived in the dormitory. In the end, the section chief even went to talk to him. Chu Molin was even punished for not compromising. As soon as the punishment was over, he went directly to the place to take samples. Chu Molin thought that every time she gave Qin Xue money, she would buy a lot of clothes and not bring any leftovers. It wasn't that Chu Molin didn't let her buy clothes, it was just that she couldn't wear them all after buying too much. She would make a fuss whenever he talked about her, and Chu Molin himself wasn't a talkative person. Later, Chu Molin stopped talking anyway. She didn't cook, so she ate in the cafeteria. It's been more than a month since she came out this time. I wonder if the tickets and money she left were enough for her. This time I don't know when I will be able to complete the mission and go back. It is really disturbing to marry such a wife. It has been several months since the marriage and you haven't told your family yet. I don't know what will happen if your family finds out. Alas, I don't want to think about it anymore. Once I got married, I never thought about divorce. As long as Qin Xue lived peacefully, it didn't matter to Chu Molin even if he had no feelings. After thinking about this, he carefully observed his surroundings to see if there was any abnormal movement. Suddenly, Chen Hao's voice came. Deputy Section Chief, there is a situation ahead at 11 o'clock. Chen Hao was observing the situation with his hands and glasses, so he discovered the situation earlier than others. Attention everyone else, please stay hidden until others discover you, and pay attention to your own safety. Chu Molin arranged everything and waited to eliminate the target in one fell swoop. After saying that Qin Xue declined Fang Hong's offer to stay for dinner, she took the tickets and money and returned home. Qin Xue took the lunchbox and went to the cafeteria to make a meal. She put the meal on the table and prepared to turn on the stove and put water on it. After the meal, the water was hot and she could take a shower. It's just that Qin Xue overestimated herself. She had never made such a stove fire. In her previous life, she only used electric rice cookers and gas stoves to cook. The shower was powered by solar energy. Qin Xue was really helpless with this kind of antique object. The whole room was choked with smoke and Qin Xue coughed. People who didn't know better thought it was a fire. This frightened many women to come over and some even went to find men to put out the fire. Fang Hong also came over and slammed the door anxiously. Qin Xue, open the door. Is there a fire in your house? There is so much smoke. Come out quickly. Qin Xue couldn't bear it anymore, so she put down the tongs and ran over to open the door. Smoke poured out of the door, choking the sisters-in-law who gathered outside the door and coughed. Sister-in-law, there's no fire. I was lighting up the stove, but it didn't light up. I don't know why there was so much smoke. Fang Hong looked at Qin Xue who came to open the door. Her eyes were red with choking, and her face was black and white. She really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Fang Hong pulled Qin Xue into the corridor for some air, then went into Qin Xue's house and opened all the windows for ventilation. Then she took out the firewood that was smoldering in the stove, and worked for a while before the smoke dissipated. Hey, isn't this the home of Deputy Chief Chu? Are you planning to burn the house down? You are really capable of making people panic even with a stove. Zhang Zuihua couldn't help but find fault with Qin Xue as soon as she saw him. Yes, at Deputy Chief Chu's house, look at you, you scared people so much that they thought they were on fire. The other women agreed after hearing this. That's right, I'm not tired of working every day. I don't know who said this. Qin Xue couldn't hold back her good temper. Sisters-in-law, I can't help it. This time it's my fault. Sister-in-law, please go back, don't just stare at other people's gossip every day. Living your own life is better than anything else. Qin Xue, what do you mean? Is the panic you caused right? Zhang Zuihua was the first to choke when she heard Qin Xue's words. In fact, I don't know how to start a stove fire. No matter how I start it, it always makes the smoke billowing and choking, so we, Qin Xue, can only take the blame. Chapter 14 Counterattack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Xue offended many people as soon as she said these words. That's right, I didn't tell Deputy Section Chief Chu that I was plotting against him, and I even punished Deputy Section Chief Chu for what he did. Now I almost ordered the house but still have the nerve to blame us. The other sisters-in-law are people who like to gossip when they have nothing to do every day, so they will definitely not be happy with Qin Xue's words. Isn't it? Is it interesting to stare at other people's family affairs every day? Or do you like people to stare at your family's trivial things and be talked about by others every day? If anyone likes it, tell me, and I will go to your house to gossip. Qin Xue is not a quarrelsome person, she could only use one sentence to touch the pain in people's hearts. After all, people can gossip about others, but they don't want others to gossip about themselves. Why? The women were so angry that they couldn't help but what Qin Xue said was right. They liked gossiping about others, but they didn't want others to gossip about them. Isn't it? I think you are just idle. You only have nothing to do and just keep an eye on the things in other people's homes every day. Aren't you afraid that one day someone will find out where your money is? Maybe even the bed affair between you and your husband has been uncovered by you. Qin Xue glanced at the women's faces one by one, watching their faces change, and felt happy. Let you gossip every day, let you target me, I won't call you Qin Xue if I don't scare you to death. Let's see if you dare to do it in the future. The women were so frightened by Qin Xue's words that they all left in despair. Fang Hong saw that everyone else had left before walking to Qin Xue and tapping her forehead and saying, Really, everyone will target you in the future, so why bother? Sister-in-law, that's right. They have nothing to do so they gossip about other people's things every day. Is it possible, sister-in-law, that you like them talking about you? Qin Xue couldn't help but act coquettishly towards Fang Hong. There's really nothing I can do about you, so don't spread the flames. Just go to my house and bring some burning briquettes. After you're done, put 2 lumps of anthracite in there and cover the damper. Next time there's still fire, you can use it directly. There is no need to start the stove every time. Fang Hong taught Qin Xue how to start the stove to preserve the fire. Really, thank you sister-in-law, you are so kind. Qin Xue hugged Fang Hong's arm and shook it happily, smiling brightly. Fang Hong looked at Qin Xue as happy as a child, shook her head helplessly, came over with me, took the tongs up and down to clamp the coals. After Fang Hong finished speaking, she walked in front. Qin Xue's temperament has changed a lot since she was injured and lost her memory. This is good. Chu Molin finally has hope. Qin Xue took an unused briquette and exchanged fire with Fang Hong. What are you doing, girl? I'm just asking you to hold some kindling and you're giving me coal in exchange. Sister-in-law, it's not easy for everyone. I can't let you suffer every time. You are so good to me, so I can't let you suffer, right? Qin Xue is a person who repays kindness and revenge. It's just that she has a lazy temperament and won't fight back unless others push her hard. So in her previous life, after her mother died, her father married her stepmother. Qin Xue would rather grow up with her grandparents than go back to live with her father and stepmother. Since we are not the same people, we don't want to join in, and we feel relaxed and at ease. Now that Fang Hong is showing kindness everywhere, Qin Xue will of course be happy to accept it. I took the tinder back and put a coal on it, and then put the water on it to boil. When I picked up the rice, it was cold. Fortunately, there wasn't much oil in the dishes now, otherwise I wouldn't be able to eat them if they were cold. I finished my meal, washed the dishes, and stretched out comfortably. Chapter 15 Space Appearance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Xue found a set of loose clothes to use as pajamas and put them in the bathroom. Then I went to pour water to take a shower, and mixed a pot of water to boil it. When it was boiled, I mixed it with the kettle and drank it when I was thirsty. Qin Xue took the water into the bathroom and mixed it with cold water before taking off her clothes and taking a shower. The skin of the original body is quite white, which can be described as black and white compared with the skin of the hands and face. This body is very thin, but the places that should be convex are convex, and the places that should be thin are thin. In modern terms, this is a standard devil figure. Qin Xue really didn't expect to have such a good skin. It was the first time Qin Xue had seen this body completely after being here for more than 10 days. Qin Xue used her hands to move down from her face to her flat stomach. I can't believe that a little life has been born here. It feels so magical. Qin Xue looked at the woman in the mirror. Her face was soft, but the confidence in her eyes was the most attractive, because this kind of self-confidence is so inconsistent with his own look, but together they form a special temperament. Qin Xue has never seen such a temperament, but is this person now herself? Hey, what is this? Qin Xue leaned into the mirror and looked at the mark under the collarbone. She rubbed the mark with her hand. It looked like a pink peach blossom with a red mark in the stamens. Hey, why does it look so much like the peach blossom that my mother left for me in my previous life? It's just that the flower is pink and the stamens are pink instead of red. Qin Xue was still rubbing the mark unconsciously as she thought about it. Suddenly, I felt a heat coming from the mark on my finger, and before I could react, I moved to another place. Wow, it's raining peach blossoms. It's so beautiful. What kind of place is this? All that caught his eye were peach blossoms in full bloom. Qin Xue walked inside for about a quarter of an hour before exiting the peach blossom forest. The destination is a piece of black land of about 2.5 acres. Next to the land is a well. Between the well and the land is a half-meter wide cobblestone road. Behind the land is a bamboo house. Behind the house is a bamboo forest. Who lives in such a beautiful place? Qin Xue came to the bamboo door and knocked on the door. Why was no one opening the door? When she pushed the door with her hand, it opened. The door was not bolted. Excuse me, is there anyone? Is anyone here? Hey, there is no one. What a strange place. Ah, what should I do? How do I go back without anyone? Please tell me how to go back to where I came from. But there is no one. It should be quiet. If you ask Qin Xue if he is afraid, Qin Xue is really not afraid. People who have died once can resurrect themselves as another person. There is really nothing that scares Qin Xue, but we can't stay here forever. Apart from a peach blossom forest, a bamboo forest, a bamboo house, a well and a piece of land, there is nothing to eat. We wouldn't have died of starvation in a car accident. No, there must be a way. How did I get here? How did I get in? Ah, at that time, I seemed to be thinking that the peach blossom mark under the collarbone was like the peach blossom that my mother left for me. Yes, I was just thinking about this. What else did I do besides thinking about this? Qin Xue touched the mark with one hand and her chin with the other. How to get back to the original place? Come in and go back. Well, no, are you going out? Give it a try. I want to go out. Well, I did go back to the bathroom. Huh, I finally came back. Hey, it's so cold. I didn't feel cold just now in the peach blossom forest, but now I was shivering from the cold and realized that I was naked. I haven't taken a shower yet. I didn't know if the water had cooled down after being delayed for so long. When I touched it, the water was still hot, just like when it was first mixed. If it's not cold, just take a shower first and worry about the rest. There is no shower gel, but there is soap. There is no special smell when you smell it. Today's soaps are very simple and unlike modern times, which have various flower scents and milk scents. So can you make soap by yourself in exchange for money? I hurriedly took a shower and put on clothes. It was still quite cold now, but be sure not to catch a cold. Why is peach blossom rain written in the space? Because today I am watching the Master of Shen Men with my children, and there happened to be a 1,000-year-old peach blossom demon who leisurely performed a peach blossom rain. I thought it was very beautiful, so I wrote peach blossom forest into the space. Hee. Chapter 16 Snow Spirit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Qin Xue put on her clothes and washed them, she returned to the room and got under the quilt, thinking of the place you went to when taking a shower. Can you go in again? Qin Xue pulled her clothes away and looked at the mark and touched the mark with her hand. When I came out just now, I touched the mark and said I want to come out. Does that mean I can go in by touching it and saying I want to go in? Just do what comes to mind. I want to go in. I really came in. Is there anyone? Qin Xue looked around as she walked, but there was still no one. Why was it so strange? Qin Xue came to the bamboo house again and knocked on the door, but there was still no one. She walked to the well and saw that the water had reached the edge of the well. The rim of the surrounding well is only 1 hand higher than the ground. You can drink the water by bending down. The water is quite clear. Qin Xue picked up a stick of water with her hand to warm it up. This water should be drinkable, right? Qin Xue lowered her head and drank the water. It was very refreshing and sweet. Qin Xue drank several sips without feeling any special reaction. Qin Xue sat on the stone steps in front of the bamboo house and looked at the peach blossom forest in front of her. Where on earth is this place? Why is there no one? Since I can come in, it should have special meaning, but I was unfamiliar with everything here and no one came to tell me about the situation. Why did I come to this place? Qin Xue didn't understand everything, and her originally calm heart became confused because of the appearance of this place. I don't know how long she sat there before Qin Xue was ready to get up and go out to sleep. Qin Xue turned off the lights and covered herself with a quilt before going to sleep. In her dream, Qin Xue came to that space again. This time she was not alone. Qin Xue looked at the little fox in front of her. Its snow-white feathers were fluffy and its tail was as big and long as a cattail fan. It was really cute. Master, you are here. I am Shuling. Nice to meet you. The little fox chirped. Wow, you can talk. You're so cute. Can I touch you? Qin Xue has liked stuffed animals since she was a child, but I don't like cleaning animal sanitation, such as feces, so I have never kept a pet. Now that I see this cute little thing, I want to touch it. Of course, Master, I am your pet. Xue Ling said to Qin Xue with her big eyes blinking. Qin Xue got a satisfactory answer and picked up Xue Ling, holding Xue Ling in one hand and touching Xu Ling's head with the other. Xue Ling, you called me master and said you are my pet, but what on earth is going on? What's going on? Master, that's because you opened this space and I woke up because of you, so you are my master. Xue Ling looked at Qin Xue and replied. Then can you tell me how I opened the space and how I came here? What Qin Xue wanted to know most was why she came here. Of course, I brought you here. Isn't Xue Ling great? Xue Ling waited for Qin Xue's praise. You brought it, why did you bring me here? Because the master died in a car accident, and your blood happened to be stained on your jade pendant and opened up the space, so I brought you here. I'm sorry, master, because I just woke up and didn't have time to choose another suitable body for you. It just so happens that the person in your current body is also dead, but the child in her belly is not dead yet, so I sent you into this body. In this way, saving the child's life is equivalent to counteracting your defiance of fate. Xue Ling lowered her head and whispered. If you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't be able to hear what was behind you. You mean to say that because I died in modern times and you woke up just in time, you took my soul away? If you want me to continue living, you will be punished by God if you change your destiny. Qin Xue herself died, but her child did not deserve to die. So I want to live but I have to be punished by God, and my child will definitely die because of Qin Xue's death. Now that you put me into this body, the merits and demerits are equal to each other, right? Qin Xue clarified Xue Ling's words. Chapter 17 The Role of Space. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yeah, yes, that's it. Xue Ling's voice was as soft and waxy as a child's, as if she was coquettishly speaking. Xue Ling, thank you for giving me a new life. So is this space inside my jade pendant? What is the function here? I don't know the specific function. It's because of your blood that I opened the space and appeared. You have to slowly dig out the specific function to know, but I know things can be stored here and things can be grown on that land. That well is called Lingquan. In addition to watering crops and accelerating their growth, the spring water also has the effects of strengthening the body and refreshing the mind. It can also speed up the healing of wounds, but for the others, you, the master, need to find them by yourself. Master, you have to work hard. By the way, master, weren't you a doctor in your previous life? The speed in this space is faster than outside. You can find or buy some medicinal seeds to plant. It can be harvested soon. Xue Ling's spiritual power is not enough, so Xue Ling can only take away a set of surgical tools when taking away her master. Now Xue Ling gives this set of surgical tools to the owner, hoping that the owner can live a good life in this world. Xue Ling handed Qin Xue the scalpel tool she brought. Qin Xue had mixed feelings holding the scalpel, thinking of her grandparents, her best friends Ying and Chen. These were the things she couldn't let go of in her previous life. There is really nothing else that Qin Xue can miss, in her previous life, because her mother died young and her father remarried. Qin Xue did not believe in love and did not want to get married, so she never agreed when others pursued her. His grandparents even arranged a blind date for him, but Qin Xue made excuses to avoid it. Qin Xue was single for 24 years and a car accident brought her back to the 1980s. Not only did she get married but she also had children here, directly overcoming the marriage that Qin Xue was conflicted with. I hope this marriage will not disappoint me. Qin Xue doesn't want to be a doctor with this scalpel now. It doesn't take much to think about it, but she knows that she is not well educated and has no power. If you use these skills, what will others think? If you investigate, you will be directly arrested as a spy or arrested for research. Therefore, you must not let anyone know about it unless it is absolutely necessary. Shuling, I don't want to take this scalpel out now. Is there a place to put it here? You can keep it for me. I will ask you for it when I need it. Qin Xue put away the scalpel and handed it to Xueling. Master, yes, you can put it in that bamboo house. Anyway, only you can come in here for the time being. You can put it wherever you want. Xueling pointed to the bamboo house and said. You mean I can control that bamboo house as I please? Can I go in now? The last time Qin Xue came in, she thought it was someone else's home. I just glanced at it casually without looking carefully. If it was my own, I could just look at it and mess with it. Qin Xue picked up Xueling and walked to the bamboo house. The bamboo house was a 2-bedroom and 1 living room, with 2 rooms, one as a bedroom and a study. It is said to be a study room because there is a bookshelf with some books, a table and a chair, which are simple and clear, and there is a book on the table. Qin Xue picked it up and saw that it was a space manual. It roughly meant that it was a storage device made by an ancient immortal cultivator, because at that time, the effect of practicing low-level Taoxing was not very big. Later, when my ability became stronger and I practiced better, I didn't need this, but because I had been with it for many years and couldn't bear to throw it away, I set a seal and it belongs to whoever is destined to open it. The peach trees and bamboo forests inside were transplanted one by immortal cultivators at that time. The land was open because we were afraid that we would not be able to get out in time if there were special circumstances. We could grow things to be self-sufficient and not starve to death. The fast time flow rate is the spatial flow rate set according to the crops. Another space flow speed was set by the cultivators between the bamboo house and the land. That is to say, the house and the bamboo forest on this side of the cobblestones have a slow flow of time, while the land and peach grove on the other side of the cobblestones have a fast flow. The function of this cobblestone road is that the space-speed barrier is an independent space formed by the immortal cultivators at that time, merging it with another small space. But the media entering are all from the same entrance. Writing this space is only needed for the text. Apart from the land for planting things and the health benefits of well water, it has no other heaven-defying effects. What is special is the person who wrote the book inside. As the saying goes, the book has its own golden house, and the book has its own beauty. Well, reading more is still good, don't you think? Chapter 18, Waiting for the Bus. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The books on the bookshelf are the immortal formations, military strategies, martial arts secrets collected by the cultivators, as well as alchemy techniques and some experience and medicines for treating strange and complicated diseases. There is actually a book on embroidery techniques, which are of no use to Qin Xue except for the rare and difficult disease, the prescription, and the embroidery. Qin Xue doesn't know any formations at all, and she doesn't know anything about military strategy. Except 36 strategies, alchemy requires the cultivator's alchemy furnace and spiritual power and spiritual fire to refine the elixir. Where can I find the alchemy furnace, spiritual power and spiritual fire? Qin Xue is good at refining pills. In her previous life, her grandfather was a famous Chinese medicine doctor. Qin Xue didn't like to drink bitter Chinese medicine when she was sick, so her grandfather would boil the Chinese medicine and refine it into pills for Qin Xue to take. Grandpa will also teach Qin Xue traditional Chinese medicine in his spare time. Qin Xue can take pulse, look, smell, ask and feel, and Qin Xue can do acupuncture, it's just that I wasn't very skilled. The most proficient thing was to use a scalpel. It's a pity that I only worked for 2 years and I was able to operate alone, but I died in a car accident. Qin Xue is also good at embroidery, because her grandma is from Jiangnan and is good at embroidery, especially Su embroidery. When she was a child, her grandma wanted Qin Xue to pass on her craftsmanship. Who knew that Qin Xue preferred medical skills, so embroidery only scratched the surface. If I knew I was going to die, I would definitely learn all the skills my grandparents had and become proficient in them, so that I could be worthy of my grandparents' upbringing. It's a pity that the world didn't know it earlier. Qin Xue put away her books and took some space to pack those colorful clothes during the day. I found a bag, packed it, and threw it into the space. I will find a place where no one is around tomorrow and take it out to dispose of it in exchange for some money. Otherwise, the money I have is really not enough. After looking at the night sky, it was probably early in the morning and continuing to sleep. Going out to buy things tomorrow was the top priority. This time Qin Xue slept until dawn. Not even the wake-up call disturbed Qin Xue, which showed how deeply he slept. Qin Xue got up, folded the quilt, and went to the kitchen to get some salt. She must buy a toothbrush today. Maybe it was because I drank space water last night that the bump on my head had healed a lot, the wound was recovering well, and my head was no longer dizzy. It seemed that what Xue Ling said about well water can speed up wound healing was true. Qin Xue entered the space again and took a cup of spiritual spring to drink before leaving the space. I opened the closet and found a shirt with not so many flowers to wear inside, and wore a red Nizi jacket outside. Nizi coats at this time are not cheap. There are dozens of them, and they can even match a worker's monthly salary. This original person is really willing to give up. No wonder all the owners only have 68 yuan. The trousers are black cotton straight pants. There is no good style for you to choose at this time. Unlike modern times, the various styles dazzle you. If you have money, Qin Xue can draw her own designs and find someone to make them. She combed her hair and tied it into a bun on the top of her head. She looked in the mirror and decided that it was refreshing and elegant. They took the food stamps and money and put them in their pockets before going to find Fang Hong. When the two of them arrived, the supply truck had not yet arrived. Sister-in-law, isn't sister-in-law Yu Xiu going? Qin Xue didn't see Yu Xiu ask Fang Hong. She said she was going, she should be here soon. After Fang Hong finished speaking, she looked back and really saw Yu Xiu coming over. Look, isn't that coming? He pointed at Yu Xiu and said to Qin Xue. You two are early enough. Let's go to the door and wait for the supply truck. Yu Xiu came over with a cloth bag in her hand and pulled Fang Hong and said. The institute will go out to collect every 2 days. Hey, Qin Xue, why don't you bring something in your pocket when you go shopping? Yu Xiu asked suspiciously when she saw Qin Xue's empty hands. Do you still need to bring a bag? I don't know, so I didn't bring it. Qin Xue is a new human being living in the 21st century. Everything she buys is packed in plastic bags. How did Qin Xue know that she had to bring a bag to carry things when she went out on the street? Besides, she didn't know to take a bag now that there was space to put things. What should we do? Do you want to go back and get it? It's my fault that I forgot to tell you. Fang Hong also didn't expect that Qin Xue couldn't even remember the basic requirements of life after losing her memory. If Qin Xue knew what Fang Hong was thinking, she would definitely say, it's not that I don't remember, it's just that I don't know because I haven't experienced this situation. It's okay, sister-in-law, let's go. I don't have a bag like this at home. If you buy too many things, just buy a bag to put them in. I'm going to use it in the future anyway. Qin Xue is not afraid that there will be no place to put things. Just throw them into a large space, saving time and effort. Chapter 19 Big Shopping. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When the three of them arrived at the door, they saw several sisters-in-law waiting for the bus. It seemed that there were quite a few people who wanted to take the bus to go to the street. Not long after the supply truck arrived, the sisters-in-law quickly got into the back of the truck. Well, that move is so nimble, you can see people getting up so easily. Qin Xue didn't know how to get on because she had never been in such a car before. Seeing Qin Xue still down there, Fang Hong knew that Qin Xue was not even familiar with this, so she said. Qin Xue, come on, let's pull you up. So Fang Hong and Yu Xiu each held hands and pulled Qin Xue up. In this way, Qin Xue experienced an 80-year convertible journey. Qin Xue had never experienced riding in a car like this since she was a child. In the past, she had either taken a bus or a taxi, or even a battery-powered car in the back. In fact, it is very unsafe to ride in a car like this in modern times, but now I can only do as the Romans do. I think I must buy a bicycle if I have the chance. Although the bicycle ticket is not cheap, it is convenient to go everywhere. After wandering for an hour, we arrived at the county seat. It was really far away. After the three people got off the car, they asked about the time when the supply truck would go back and then started shopping. When she walked to the door of a breakfast shop and saw soy milk and fried dough sticks, Qin Xue was hungry. Let's go, sisters-in-law, I'll treat you to breakfast. Holding each other hand in hand, they walked into the breakfast shop and found a table to sit down. Sisters-in-law, you can order what you want to eat, and I'll pay for it. Qin Xue was really greedy. She hadn't eaten soy milk and fried dough sticks for a long time. Now I can see where I can let go. Qin Xue, you can eat by yourself. We all came after breakfast. Fang Hong and Yu Xiu really came here after eating porridge and steamed buns at home, so they were reluctant to spend the money. No, sisters-in-law, just stay with me and eat some, okay? After saying that, he ordered 3 fried dough sticks and 3 bowls of soy milk. Let Fang Hong and Qin Xue eat alone, and Qin Xue wouldn't be able to eat it. Fang Hong and Yu Xiu agreed because they couldn't refuse Qin Xue. Breakfast for 3 people costs 45 cents, which is really not expensive. After breakfast, Qin Xue wanted to get rid of the clothes in the space, but there was no way to take them out with them, so he asked, sisters-in-law, what do you want to buy? How about we buy them separately? After buying, we can just get off the bus and gather there to wait for the car to go back. Otherwise, I'm afraid we won't have enough time if we go together. What do you think? When the other 2 people heard this, they felt the same. The things the 3 of them wanted to buy together were really different. It would be too time-consuming to buy them together and they really had to buy them separately, so they all agreed to Qin Xue's arrangement. Qin Xue asked about the location of the supply and marketing cooperative and the department store before leaving her 2 sisters-in-law. Qin Xue first found a deserted place and took out the clothes in the space before going to the black market. After arriving at the black market, she found a place to put oil paper on them and took out the clothes one by one and laid them out before shouting. Everyone come and take a look. Take a look. It's sold cheaply. It's sold cheaply. There aren't many clothes. It's first come, first served. Qin Xue is not afraid that no one will want it. Qin Xue didn't like these clothes because they were too fancy, but they were all new models that were selling well at this time. It didn't take long for Qin Xue to sell out the 6 pieces of clothes and trousers that Qin Xue brought. For 55 yuan, there were still a few food stamps, gas stamps, and even 2 cloth stamps, but the denominations were not large. Qin Xue packed up her things and hurried to the supply and marketing cooperative to buy things. Wow, there were so many people. There were quite a lot of people queuing up. It was so crowded, Qin Xue was afraid that if her belly was touched, the gain would outweigh the loss. Qin Xue protected her stomach with her hands and lined up slowly. Finally, she bought 5 kilograms of rice, 5 kilograms of thin noodles, 10 kilograms of cornmeal, 4 kilograms of pork belly, and a bottle of soybean oil. I used all the borrowed food stamps, gas stamps and meat stamps. Thinking of the space, I bought some vegetable seeds, a small hoe, a toothbrush and toothpaste. I saw some free towels and bought another towel, which cost about 18 yuan. I saw an apple seller and bought 4 more apples. These apples were really expensive. 4 apples cost 3 yuan, all these things cost Qin Xue more than 20 yuan. Qin Xue took the things she bought and found a deserted place and put them in the space before slowly starting to shop. The economy at this time has not yet developed, but this is also the easiest time to make a fortune. You can make a fortune just by setting up a street stall, but with the development of the country and the pace of economic development getting faster and faster, it becomes more and more difficult to do business and make money, so you have to think of a way to make money now. Okay, but what to do? Qin Xue was thinking about it while walking around. When she passed by a place selling clocks, she realized that she didn't even have a watch to tell the time at home. Qin Xue couldn't afford a watch now, but she could buy an alarm clock. She chose a sky blue round alarm clock. I saw some yarn that was free of charge, so I picked out a khaki one and bought a pound of it. 1 or 2 pink ones could also be used to knit patterns. Although the child is only 2 months old, he has nothing to do, so he knits 2 small sweaters for the child to wear. He doesn't know whether the baby is a boy or a girl, so Qin Xue picked the khaki one that can be worn by either boy or girl. Qin Xue put her hand on her belly. Although Qin Xue did not get pregnant by sleeping with that man, but the softness that emanates from Qin Xue's heart after receiving this body from Qin Xue is so sweet, as natural as if this child was conceived by Qin Xue from the beginning, without any barriers. Qin Xue herself didn't realize that the smile on her face was so charming. Qin Lang, who had just come down from the 2nd floor of the Supply and Marketing Cooperative, saw this scene. A woman who was not particularly well dressed was holding a handful of wool in one hand and putting one hand on her belly, smiling so sweetly and beautifully. People unconsciously changed with the mood she exuded. Qin Lang's originally depressed mood improved because of this smile. Qin Lang, who had originally entered a dead end, came out. It's because he thinks too much. There's something that can't be solved. The old man said that he has a fiancée and wants to go back to get married on his own, so he should go back and take a look. If he takes a look, he will definitely get married, right? Qin Lang's steps became much easier after he thought about it. He walked to the jeep parked at the door, opened the door and got in. Captain Qin, are you going back to the research institute or? Xiao Zhao glanced at Qin Lang. Go back to the institute. I'll go back and deal with the transfer order with the section chief. I need to report and ask for a few days off to go back to my hometown. Qin Lang didn't want to face a big mess at home, so he asked to be transferred to Province S as of the squad leaders. Unexpectedly, the old man found out that he applied to come to S province and gave him such a hard time, and he had to go back to Kyoto before he came. Let's clean up the mess so we don't have to worry about it all the time. Okay, Captain. Xiao Zhao turned the key, put the car in gear, refueled, and drove to the research institute. He was notified this morning to pick up Qin Lang. When he received Qin Lang, he said he was coming to the Supply and Marketing Cooperative, so Xiao Zhao stopped and waited at the door. Now Qin Lang said he wanted to go back to the research institute, so Xiao Zhao obeyed the order and returned to the research institute. After Qin Xue picked out the yarn, she wrote a ticket and paid before she could come over to pick up the yarn. It cost 4 yuan. In a short time, it cost Qin Xue dozens of yuan. I checked the time and it was half an hour before the appointed time. Qin Xue stopped shopping, picked up her things and went to the agreed place. Qin Xue only bought some meat but not vegetables. I thought I would go to the small market near the research institute to buy it tomorrow. Because the county was too far away, Qin Xue had never been here, so I came here today to explore ways to find ways to make money, but the time was too short and I didn't have time to look at it, but it was enough to know the location of the black market. In the research institute, the sisters-in-law and the family building usually went to the small markets in nearby villages to buy things. After all, they are not the only ones there. Just go back and ask for directions. It is said that you can walk there in about 10 minutes, so don't be in a hurry. When Qin Xue arrived, no one else had come yet. It took about 7 or 8 minutes for others to come over one after another. Fang Hong and Yu Xiu also bought a lot of things, filling their pockets. Just when everyone was discussing what they had bought, the supply truck came and bought rice, meat, vegetables, waiting for something. Chapter 20 Returning Home. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As the sisters-in-law returned, they climbed into the car one by one and squatted on the back compartment. Because of her experience in the morning, Qin Xue was finally able to climb up and squat next to Fang Hong and Yu Xiu. Fang Hong saw that Qin Xue didn't have many things. Qin Xue, is this all you want to buy? Well, it's quite a lot. My sister-in-law and I don't eat much by myself, so I just bought some rice and thick noodles. I can just go back to the small market to buy vegetables. I bought some free woolen yarn to knit a small sweater for my child. Before coming back, Qin Xue took some rice and noodles from a deserted place, otherwise she wouldn't be able to explain where the things came from. Well, that's okay. You don't have a job anyway. It's okay to prepare clothes for the child. It will be cold when you give birth. Once you have the cloth tickets to buy some cloth, it's time to slowly prepare some clothes, otherwise the child will have nothing to change into. Fang Hong thought for a while and reminded Qin Xue, fearing that she would not be prepared to panic when the time comes. Ah, from Deputy Chief Chu's family, you are pregnant. How long have you been pregnant? Congratulations. Deputy Chief Chu is so happy to be back. After the sisters-in-law heard what they said, one of them returned. Qin Xue also wanted to take the opportunity to reveal her pregnancy, otherwise Chu Molin would not know when he would come back from a mission. After a while, I showed my pregnancy to others and people knew that I was pregnant, but I don't know what it was said about. Most of today's women come from rural areas due to lack of knowledge. They also come here because men have read more books and are lucky enough to come in and do other things. Women, on the other hand, like to be short-tongued and talkative. It's annoying to talk too much, so Qin Xue thinks it's better to avoid it if possible. Well, thank you sister-in-law, I am pregnant. The resident doctor who was injured last time did an examination and found out that I was 2 months pregnant. It's my luck that I was discovered early, otherwise the child might not have been saved, and I won't be able to explain it when my Mtlnovel comes back. Qin Xue was scared when she thought about it now. If he had not entered this body in time, an innocent life would have been lost. Deputy Section Chief Chu's family, you are lucky. I hope you will get a boy in one fell swoop. The women in the car had no conflicts with Qin Xue, and they all congratulated Qin Xue, but Qin Xue was a little displeased with the man who succeeded in one fell swoop. What happened to the girl? Girls are also born by themselves. In modern times, the more popular girls are, the better, but now most of them favor boys over girls. Qin Xue could only suppress her displeasure and said with a calm expression. Thank you, sisters-in-law. I give you my blessings. But now is a new society. Leader Mao said that women can hold up half the sky, so I am very happy even if I am a girl. Some of the other women were happy to hear this, but their expressions froze. Qin Xue didn't care what others thought. She stopped talking and leaned against Fang Hong and closed her eyes. Qin Xue, what's wrong? Are you uncomfortable with your face being so pale? Or Yu Xiu noticed something was wrong with Qin Xue. Sister-in-law, I'm fine. I just felt a little nauseous all of a sudden. I'll just squint for a while. Qin Xue knew that this was a reaction to morning sickness due to pregnancy, and it was normal to feel a little nauseous while riding in a car. Yu Xiu saw that Qin Xue really had nothing else to do, so he just let her go. Just when Qin Xue couldn't hold on any longer, she finally arrived at the facility. After getting off the car, Qin Xue dropped her things on the ground and ran to the roadside where she vomited wildly. She didn't stop until she vomited until the gall came out. I thought I was over the effects of pregnancy, but I vomited again while riding in the car today. It feels so uncomfortable. I'll go back and cook some porridge later. Fang Hong and Yu Xiu carried Qin Xue's things and waited for her to finish vomiting before walking to the family building. Seeing that she was uncomfortable with vomiting, they left empty-handed without letting her carry her things. Qin Xue, you didn't buy vegetables today. We have vegetables in the fields. Go pick some. There are some in the fields. You can pick whatever you want to eat. Fang Hong got to know each other after this period of time. She truly treats Qin Xue as her own sister. Well, we have some at home too. If you like to eat, go ahead and pick them. Yu Xiu also felt that Qin Xue was not as willing to treat her well as others said before. Seeing that the two of them were sincere to her, Qin Xue felt happy and determined to repay them well. Okay, thank you sisters-in-law. I want to cook some porridge later, then I'll pick some green vegetables and fry them later. Speaking of cooking, Qin Xue remembered that she had never cooked at home. Apart from salt, we don't even have a pot at home. It seems that we have to go to the small market later to see if there is any for sale. Why did we forget to buy it in the county town? When I got home, I put away my things, drank a glass of water, drank some boiled water, locked the door and went directly to the small market. Maybe because it was close to the afternoon, there were not many people there, and there were scattered old farmers selling vegetables. At this time, everything is still considered to be owned by the public and not your own, so you need to sign the signature of the village commune before you can do business. Otherwise, people will be criticized for speculating. The consequences of that would be serious. Qin Xue walked around and finally found a blacksmith's shop at the end. The shop was not big, but there were pots of various sizes inside. Qin Xue chose a cook, a stir-fryer, and a soup maker. Finally, she almost bought a spatula and paid for it. I went to the grocery store to buy soy sauce, but I didn't see any seasonings, so I made do with it. I will go shopping in the county town another day. Today I am mainly exploring the road. I forgot to buy many things. I will make a shopping list when I go back. These things are quite heavy to carry, but it is not convenient to put them in the space here, so I can only carry them slowly, buy a handful of vegetables, buy 10 eggs and go back. Because it was a new pot, Qin Xue cut off some fat and fried several pots before cleaning them and cooking. Qin Xue opened the door and put in a briquette, then put the rice washing pot on, washed the vegetables and waited for the porridge to be cooked. I was really tired today. Qin Xue turned down the air door, went to the bathroom, washed her face, threw herself on the bed and fell asleep after a while. I don't know how long she slept. Anyway, Qin Xue woke up to the smell of rice, and her stomach growled with hunger. Qin Xue sat on the bed and was confused for a few minutes before putting on her shoes and washing up. She didn't know if it was because of her pregnancy, but her body was too weak. How could I have been so weak before? Sometimes a surgery lasted for several hours and I wasn't as tired as I am today. It seems that I need to change slowly, otherwise my belly will get bigger and bigger and I will be more tired. Qin Xue looked like the woman in the mirror. I don't know if it was an illusion, but Qin Xue felt that she was a little different. After filling a bowl of porridge, Qin Xue took the pot down and replaced it with a wok for cooking. Well, my cooking skills are still so good, even though it's just a simple fried vegetable, it tastes good. The taste is different without the pollution of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. In the end, Qin Xue ate 2 bowls of porridge and a plate of vegetables. Well, I'm full. This is so delicious. Xiaoshi walked around the living room, and Qin Xue didn't put away the dishes and wash them until she was no longer tired. Divide the pork belly you bought into 3 parts, give each of the 2 parts about 1.5 pounds to Fang Hong's family and Yu Xiu's family, and eat the rest yourself. Maybe it's because he doesn't eat much meat. Qin Xue salivates when she thinks of braised pork and fried pork belly with garlic sprouts. When did I become so worthless? Just thinking about it makes me drool. It's so embarrassing. Fang Hong's house was on the same floor. Qin Xue packed up the meat and took 2 apples and went to Fang Hong's house first.